This is an Slim trade idea video update for a short-term short in low. This is the low weekly chart. I first want to look at the XHB, which is the sector, because it's really sending us some very clear messages, in my opinion, based on everything we're looking at here. For XHB, we have a dominant cycle broken up into minor thirds. These are the minor thirds. I have drawn them in the old data here, but these are the minor thirds right here. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, those are those minor cycles right there. And what's happening is that we were due to form a bottom. This bottom is now in the context of a bearish weekly structure with a lower cycle low relative to the prior low. And what happened? We got a couple of week rally, a 3-week rally off the low, and a swift failure and a negative momentum condition throughout that entire process. Remember, this is really should be looked at based on the closing bar of that time frame. This is a weekly chart. This stayed negative that whole time. This is very negative as we're looking at it. The key weekly breakdown level is 63.97, targeting a move on the weekly time frame to the 61.8 at 58.21, and then again, this is the 78.6 to the 100. We always call that in blue. That's 54 to around 49 or so. So that's the picture on the weekly bearish look in the XHB. Let's go ahead and look at the idea in low. So this is lows, and what's happening here is really very much the same picture. But for low, we have a dominant cycle broken up into minor halves. And what we're looking at is an early high that has likely formed here as well, with 1, 2, 3, 4-week rally off of that key low. Looking at the key weekly cycle low now at 206.24, watching for rallies to fail and then for this to roll down. Now we have a mid-cycle low due around the late May time period. So what we're looking for is a sell-off further, looking for any little rally here to fail and form that next mid-cycle low in and around that mid to late May time period, get a modest rally in that next rising phase, and then one more hit on the downside. Tons of risk out here going out into the fall of this year. So that's the picture in low. This is really only valid as long as we stay, but we really first have to get below this key cycle low, obviously, to get things really more negative, but we need to hold this cycle high at 238.37. If we were to take out that high, this whole bearish outlook is no longer valid. So very important to note that. Daily chart, again, we have these cycles here on the chart, fairly clean cycles in low. Looking for just a little bit of a bear flag to form, we have a negative slim ribbon and negative slim ribbon PO. Now, this period right here was pretty important, right? Because you are still in the later stages of that weekly corrective period, right? And look what you got here, a beautiful signal on the slim ribbon PO here, which is available for level 4 and 4 plus members over at Slim. Bearish signal here, solid sell-off off of that bearish signal in the slim ribbon PO. So very nice action there, and did lead to some nice follow through. Right here, we have a negative PO. If we get a bear flag, this PO is likely to work its way close to this 75 level. Watch for another bearish signal there, and then one more hit down. So that's what we're looking for. It looks like low is marking up a little bit, with the S&Ps up about 26 points. So we'll have to see what happens. But looking for a little bit higher and then a hit to basically retest that prior cycle low and likely to take it out here. The levels are 219.24 to 222.90. If this closes over 226.55, that would render the idea no longer valid. Targeting this 61.8 fib to the 78.6, so it's 208.42 to the prior cycle low here at 206.24. The theoretical risk on this idea is fairly nominal. It's right around 720, targeting a move of around $11. So if we look at this, $11 divided by 720, that's a 1.5 to 1 reward to risk. That's what we like to see for our trade ideas. It's at very worst a 1.2 to 1. We really like to see higher than that to skew the odds of the actual idea in our favor. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. One last thing I did want to note is that the next short-term low is due 4.6 to 4.14, okay? So that's the picture here in low, and hopefully it was helpful to look at the sector. Feel free to share any feedback you have with me, and I hope you guys have a great day.